If you're looking at blogging as a way to earn money online, you might be thinking if that is the best way to do that. And as in many things, I'm not able to give you a really good answer without knowing anything about your situation. So I'll try to break it down for you so you can make an informed decision without too much of the hype you see in all the ads for the online courses. Otherwise, it might be like answering the question, how much does a red car cost, or how long is a piece of string? And then the answer is always, that depends.
In this video in the series, we are looking at blogging as a way to earn money online. A business can be defined as finding a group of customers, coupling them with a product, and then getting paid. And I would put blogging in the spectrum closest to the customer, where you are working to finding the customer and not delivering the product and not charging them money.
So I have some notes here and we will run through them fairly quickly. I will give you some opportunities and some strength here, but I will also be breaking down the metrics about money and how fast and how passive this online income stream is. So let's dive in. And first off, we're looking at some strength here. The first one is pretty obvious. There is a fairly low barrier to entry. So you don't have to know very much about online business or writing in general. You can just find a couple of easy tutorials here on YouTube and then you will be off to the races. So it's fairly quick to get started. Blogging offers quite a lot of flexibility, and if you've been following my channel and case studies, you know I can work here from home. I can work when I'm on vacation, or I can decide not to work if I want to go on vacation. We just spent 4 weeks in New Zealand and I didn't work while we were there, and I didn't have to. So blogging offers a job that is on your schedule. As a blogger, you also have control over what you want to publish. So you don't have to publish or post anything a company tells you to, or you're not obligated in any way to post a certain kind of stuff on your blog. You can decide for yourself. Blogging also offers quite a lot of revenue streams. The most common are ads and affiliate income, but you can also post sponsored posts. You can make your own product or online course, so there's a lot of different ways you can earn money and diversify. And then lastly, one of the most important strengths in blogging is that you can build a brand. You don't have to be a personal brand with your name on it, but you can build a brand on that website. And with chatbots on the rise that can spit out quite a lot of content in absolutely no time, becoming a brand will be even more important, and you have that opportunity in the blogging space. Some weaknesses, we also have to look at that. Blogging requires a long-term commitment. You have to post regularly and you have to publish quite a decent body of work before a blog gets moving. Content creation can be a dread if you're like me. You get shiny object syndrome and you want to go to the next big exciting thing, but you have to actually stay here and type up some content. And that can be a challenge. If you have a personality like me, you might be different. Blogging has been around for some time now, 15 years, 20 years in common knowledge, and even longer if you count all of it. That has created quite a lot of competition. It's not to say that the market or all niches are completely saturated, but there is a fair amount of competition in most niches. That also shows you that there is money to be made, but again, it requires a long-term commitment to get any kind of traction. As you might also have seen in my case studies, revenue generation can actually be quite a challenge. If you don't have traffic, it's very difficult to create any sort of income, and you might have to do some of the other stuff that we're going to talk about in this list on online income, and then blogging will not be the sole thing that you do. And then you will need some technical skills going forward. That is also a positive thing, because you would need to learn something and you would have acquired that skill. But doing online optimizations for the search engines, SEO, and structuring a blog post and setting up a website when you get some decent traffic can actually be quite technical. This comes later, so you can get a start. There is still a low barrier to entry, but if you really want to grow a blog, you will need to acquire some technical skills here. There is also opportunities. So you can carve out a small niche that interests you. So you can dive in and really go in depth with a topic that really interests you. And the ideas for niche markets are virtually endless. There is a growing demand for knowledge, and as people want to work less and stay home more and pursue their own interests, there will be an increasing demand for knowledge around certain niche topics. So the opportunity in blogging is still growing. It is becoming a bigger and bigger pie. There's so many social media platforms now, and you have a vast array of possibilities to promote your blog. In the old days, like 7-10 years ago, we would mostly have to wait until Google would see something promising in our websites and then be promoting that and showing that to the world. But you have the opportunity now to combine this strategy with other strategies and then build a following here on YouTube or on Instagram or Pinterest or whatever suits your niche. Affiliate marketing is also on the rise, and that creates opportunities also for bloggers and some very good opportunities for generating income. And then digital products has become more and more popular. People needed to learn this, and when people were forced to be home, they were attending online meetings and were required to keep up their professional skills with online courses. So quite a lot of people are used to online courses now, and you have that opportunity to create that even though your audience might not be the most tech savvy. But there is some threats as well. So the technology are changing, and recently it's been the rise of chatbots, and they can spit out quite a lot of content. They can spin up and rehash the content and make it look like it's completely new, even though it's old content. So that is going to create some challenges going forward. And as of the time of this recording, we are not quite sure what to do, but some blogs will die off eventually. On that same note, changes in algorithms, specifically Google's algorithm, can be a challenge. And again, if you followed me on this channel before, you know from my case study that is absolutely a thing that can happen. Then there can be some legal issues. So you need to be aware of copyright laws. You need to be aware on how you can cite sources, and if you get any kind of success, you will most likely be hit with someone trying to copy your content, because everything is out there in the open space anyway. So not that it's a big concern when you start, but it is something to be aware of. Again, with the low barrier to entry and the rise for demand and the rise of opportunities in affiliate marketing and online ads, there is also going to be more saturation in certain markets. So if your interest is in a very saturated niche, it can be quite challenging to carve out just a small piece for yourself. And then there's one more that is, it can maybe be a bit difficult to put your finger on, but it's we can call it content overload. So if you start a blog about your passion, everything becomes content. So every time you do that thing, you must remember to take pictures and make notes to be able to write a good blog post afterwards. So I have a small niche website in Danish about craft beer, not because I know too much about it, but I like to drink one every weekend, and I write a short piece or a short review on that, maybe mostly just for the fun of it. But it's also come to a point now where I can't just open up a beer and enjoy it in a weekend without having to take pictures of it and then make notes. And it actually takes some of the enjoyment out. So you have to be aware if when you're writing about a passion, you can end up where it actually takes the joy out of your passion. But at the same time, you get to write about what you're interested in. So that might be a back and forth for you. You might need to weigh that in your own mind. And then for some metrics, there is definitely possibility to earn quite a lot of money in this niche. So when I talk about how much money you can earn, I also like to talk about how close to the cash register you actually are, because even though you can earn millions from this strategy, it's not something that is going to make you money today or tomorrow or maybe even this year. So you can build on a success you have. So if you write a blog post that is very popular, you can write more of that type of content, and you can build a larger body of work, and that will increase your chances of earning more money. But it takes at least a year, and in my experience also mostly 2 years to get a blog really going and to produce enough content that you can actually call this an income. Again, if you look at my case study, you can have a very authentic view, a very honest view of what online income can be for a single blog. But the possibility to build on top of what you already have is also a reason why you can make quite a lot of money in this space. And if you strike a nerve and you create a good product and you have some high-paying ads, you can earn millions from this. Blogging is often put on a pedestal as a passive income, and there is definitely some passiveness to it. I don't really like that word, so I usually try to call it perpetual income instead of passive income, because creating a blog, writing content, doing keyword research is not at all passive. It actually takes quite a lot of work, and you have to go back and revisit some old content to improve it. And when there's competition, you also have to improve your content so it stays relevant, so it stays at the top of the search result. So, but in between all of that, there is some passiveness, because if you have a large body of work and you are ranking well and you have monetized your blog, you can quite easily take a month or two out and not work on that blog at all, and it will still make you some money. You don't have to do maintenance work all the time, so you will have some time available to create new products and to create new content to put on top of what you already have. So it's definitely not passive, but it's definitely not hours for money either. So I put it somewhere here between 5 and 7, and we can maybe have a discussion of what you think in the comment section. I would put it around a 6 for passiveness here. And then for skills required, I put it on a fairly medium. It's because writing a blog post is not that difficult, but I've seen quite a lot of cases where people anyway is creating fairly low quality content. So there is definitely a skill to writing a good blog post. And if you are academic like me and you have knowledge in a specific field, it can actually be quite difficult to put that aside and write a blog post in layman's terms. And you also need to structure your blog post differently from what I would do in scientific work. So it is requiring a bit of skill. Also, on the other side, if you haven't written it too much before, it takes some getting used to, and maybe you need to take an online course in grammar and spelling to get something decent out of it. So it's not difficult, but it does require some skill. So I put it here in a happy medium. So let me know if that is anything for you. Would you start a blogging career to try to make money online? I've been doing this for over a decade now, and I quite enjoy the way to earn money in this way. But I've also built up my skills, and I have made some failures along the way. But let me know if this is the strategy for you, and if you want to take a look at other online income streams, I have other videos to show you as well. See you in the next one.